Hey everybody. Last Sunday I had planned to try to do a YouTube live session and teach a class on how to do this really cool geometric abstract art. And that didn't go so well. So I decided to just make a video, and I'm going to preview some of the pieces that I've done and some of the things that I have coming up in the future. I'll do a few tutorials on how to do some of these designs that I will post here on YouTube, but I am also getting ready to launch a full course called Calming Creations, and it's going to be all about how to do this type of art and how to make this a way to relax, unwind, de-stress. It's very, very calming. It takes a good bit of concentration, which is one of the things that makes it so relaxing. So this was like one of the first pieces I ever did. It is not the original. I did this project for high school art class, and I do not know what happened to the original one that I turned in to my 9th grade art teacher. But this is one that I recreated as best I could that summer. And so, as you can see, it's very detailed. A lot of people call this type of stuff Zentangle art. I wasn't calling it Zentangle in 1991 when I was doing it. I was just calling it geometric, monochromatic, abstract. And so that's kind of what I'm sticking with here. So I was curious, well, could it be done not monochromatic? Could it be done with 2 or more colors? And so I designed this one, and I like it, but not as much as I like the just black and white version. And so I got even more curious and said, well, how many colors could we actually do this with? And so I played around with this one. This one is very much a geometric abstract, because you can see where you have cubes and you have triangles and you have cones. I mean, this is kind of like a building shape here. So unlike the Zentangle that a lot of people do, where they take a 2x2 card, square it off, and just do a bunch of lines, which they call strings, and then they fill those in. This is very, very different. You're using a lot of the same types of patterns that they will use, but the way that this is done is it is blocked off first, and then individual shapes are put in and filled in. And it's not just like, okay, I took some markers and scribbled all this together, because you can see where some of the shapes are done in an entirely different color. And so that's the way that I did this one as well. Each shape is put in here separately and then filled in, and it just grows. So this took me, I want to say, 2 weeks or more to complete, as did the one after it with the black and the red. And the more colors that you put into it, the more thought process goes into it, because you don't want too much repetition and you don't want too much butting up into each other of the same color. Like this little passage here, I really don't like this. This needs more of the black shading in it to make it feel just a little bit more balanced for me. But that's just me. That's my preference. So, as you all know, I do love playing with colors. Colors is one of my most favorite thing to play around with art. And so, here is one that I did that is all gold. Again, you can tell very deliberate shapes are inside of here and filled in. In fact, this one ended up being a pencil. And when I drew the shape, it was just a rectangle. I didn't know what I was doing with it. I was just making a shape. And then I was like, you know what? That could very well be a good pencil. So that is what it actually became. And so, with that being said, these are little acorns, or they could be cherries. So you don't always have to do a geometric shape that is abstract in nature. You can actually make like bona fide things and put into your artwork. here's another example of putting bona fide things in your artwork. So with this one, you can see there's actually music notes here. So this is like a really big thing of staff paper, bigger than it would actually be, but it's abstract, so it doesn't have to be reality. So it's just, I started with a shape, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it. One day I just drew this guitar shape on the paper, and I was like, now what do I want to do with it? I hadn't planned that day to make this type of art with it, but that's just kind of what happened. So I would have to say that in terms of artwork, this is by far my favorite to do. Some of these are pretty intricate designs. Try to zoom in a little bit there so you can see some of them. I especially like the way this turned out. I think this looks really, really cool, and I really like the way these designs matched up with each other to make this really cool pattern. So moving on from there, geometric art can also be objects. So this is a flower. Obviously not a normal flower, but it is a flower. So this is done with markers, as most of these are. I very often will use art pens. So you can get the King Art ink line pens. These are archival Japanese ink, same as the Sakura pens. But if you're working on a budget and you can't afford the Sakura pens, which I think you get like 3 to 5 pens at the same price that you get like 10 pens of the King Art. So these are a little bit pricier, but they are a better quality of ink. So that is something to keep in mind. So I'll flip this over so I can show you guys another type of artwork here. And my apologies if this looks upside down to you. Let's see if I can spin it. There we go. I'll spin that. Okay, so this one kind of sort of looks like a house in a way. That's, again, not what I was aiming to do. It's just, sometimes it's just what happens. And that is the joy and the beauty of doing this type of art, especially when you are filling in things as you go. So this one started off with just these little flag shapes, and I got bored with that. And so I was like, okay, what else could I do to this? And so I just started, kind of like blocking this off. And, yes, I know it's not even, but this type of art is not based on evenness and perfection. It's based on just having something you can do to relax, to unwind, to be creative, and to know that, you're doing something that makes your heart happy and your mind relaxed. Same with this. So this starts with a single square in the center and then just branches out. And I know that's probably making your eyes do weird things. Zoom in a little bit closer there. So with this style of art, this is also a geometric style art, and it just builds on one shape onto the other. So it's all the same shape, but it's still a form of geometric abstract. And you can do different things with this. Like you could come in with these shapes, like the insides of these little squares, and you could color them if you wanted to. But this is a white gel pen, I believe. Nope, this is a paint pen. Yep, this is a white paint pen on black art paper. I have done them with gel pens. This one over here, actually. This other one I showed you. I don't know where it is now. Which one is it? Let's see. Too many pages in here. Which one is it? I don't know, I lost it. This one. This one is done with a white gel pen. And yep, this is done with a purple paint pen. Same concept as the squares, it's just we're using circles. It's kind of like gallery. And then this is metallic gel pens. It's also a type of geometric abstract. And this one is done with a green Posca paint pen. If you watched one of my recent videos, I reviewed Posca paint pens. This is some of the stuff you can do with them. I really like the flow of these pens. They really come out nice. Let's see. I think that's it for that book. Okay, so you don't always have to use a big piece of paper. Use what you have. So if you're at work and you're feeling stressed and you need to unwind and you have index cards, doodle away. So these are 2 doodles that I did. I don't remember when I did them. It was a long time ago. But as you can see, they're using this spiral pattern to be able to create most of the pattern. Again, this is another one that you can go inside and color these to make them different colors, and you can make some really cool op art, which is optical illusion art. Honestly, don't know which way is up. I think this way's up. Oh, here, that's not gonna work. I'll hold this up for you so you can see this. This is a very tiny geometric abstract. So this one is done on the art cards, the 2.5 by 3.5 inch cards. They're a little bit bigger than a business card. And you can do all kinds of really cool stuff with this type of art. You can make all kinds of neat, fascinating pictures, and this one is one of my favorites. Like, okay, I love purple, so you will see me wearing and painting with purple quite a bit. And sometimes I wear the purple paint, so it is what it is. If I remember correctly, I think this one started off with this kind of duck shape that just kind of popped out at me. But yeah, again, very deliberate shapes with these. Nothing is just squiggled. This is a really, really neat form of geometric abstract. I really like this one. This one actually goes also under the category of optical illusion art, as do these 2. So these 2 would be optical illusion art. Oh, go away. And then this one is also an optical illusion art. I have no idea what happened with this yellow. This has been coated as well with a varnish. But this is a really, really old project, so it doesn't surprise me that it's doing that. This paper is not archival, so it could be the paper that is starting to just degrade. So the thing about this, if you want to preserve your art, if you want to keep it for a really long time, which is surprising because this is not archival paper either. This is just regular index cards. So archival means that it is stable enough for like museums, art galleries, places that it's going to be visible and viewable for decades, maybe centuries down the road. So if you get something that says non-archival, that means that it will degrade over time, especially if you put it in sunlight. Then you stand a very big chance of the colors fading, the paper or the canvas yellowing. So if you are very, very particular about your artwork and you want to maintain it for a really long time, make sure you use art supplies that say archival, and then you won't have problems with that. But that wasn't meant to be sold or displayed, so I'm not really worried about it yellowing. So again, this is a little art card. As you see, I've done a lot of different little squares here, and I'm still filling this one in. This is unfinished. I do these from time to time to make a quick reference, so that, you know, if I need a pattern and I need it like, oh my gosh, I don't know what pattern I want to put here. If I have these little reference cards available, I can look at this and be like, oh yeah, that's cool, that'll work. I'll put that there. And so I recommend, if you're going to do this type of art, Having something like this, like little reference cards, or even just take a full sheet of sketch paper, or even just regular typing paper, printer paper would work, and just block off however big a block you want. It really doesn't matter. You can do like 1 by 1 inch squares, you can do 2 by 2, you can do 4 by 4 if you want. Size doesn't matter as much as, you know, if you're going to put a bigger square, then make sure that your design is big enough to fill it, or you're going to have a lot of the design. In other words, you don't want to just half fill whatever square you make. You want to be able to fill it with the design. That way it will look uniform and proper for what you're going to do. So anyway, this is my form of geometric abstract art. If you are interested in doing these types of patterns, spin that around so it doesn't look upside down to you. So if you're interested in doing these, keep an eye out. I will be making announcements here on my YouTube channel. I will also be putting it on my Facebook page, and I will be sending out emails here soon for the class launch date. And you know, I really hope that you'll enjoy this as much as I do, because it is a lot of fun and it can be very, very relaxing. And right now, with things in this world just being so stressful, I think we all need a way to unwind and relax and let go. Okay, so that is it for today. I will be coming back soon with some more art videos for you. I've got some more tutorial videos coming up, and got some exciting things coming. I'm really excited. So I know a lot of you don't watch my entire video, but if you've made it this far and you did enjoy this, I would really appreciate it if you hit the like button, or just drop me a comment that says, hey, great video, lots of fun, want to take your class, anything like that would be awesome. And I'll look to see you soon. Bye.